it's us again, Jen and Cassie. So for our today's vlog, we are going to make a buttery pandesal, and I have here my assistant Cassie. She's going to help me do the baking. So let's begin. So for our ingredients, we are going to need 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/4 cup of sugar, preferably granulated, but I don't have granulated, so I'm using this. It's a keto sugar. It's just substitute. It's still sugar. 1 teaspoon of salt, sea salt preferably. 3 tablespoons of butter. It could be melted or soft will do. 1/4 cup of breadcrumbs. 1 cup milk. A packet of active dry yeast or instant dry yeast. And last but not the least, 2 eggs. So let's begin the process. So the first thing we are going to do is we are actually going to heat up our milk. The milk should be warm. It has to be around 40 degrees Celsius or 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So we could proof our yeast. If you have an active yeast, you have to proof it. If you have an instant dry yeast, there is no need. You could just mix it directly. In my case, I like to make sure that my yeast is new and fresh, so we will have a good console. Let's heat up our milk. I'm going to transfer it here. So this is our warm milk. What I'm gonna do is just pour my dry yeast in here. And then I'm going to add the half of the sugar, so the yeast would eat the sugar. Yep. And just going to quickly stir it. And that's it. We're going to wait for about 10-15 minutes for that yeast to actually fruit, or just it's going to bubble up and rise up, and we'll start the process. Sorry about the mess from the background. My lovely daughter just running around like a crazy little kid. So once our yeast had rise with the milk, you know, we proof it so it will rise. So as you see, already rise. We are going to mix our dry ingredients first with each other. So just going to mix. I'm going to mix the salt and the sugar. Then give it a little stir. Mix it together. After, we are going to add up the wet ingredients. So our 2 eggs, we're going to give it a quick whisking. You don't want to over whisk it, so that should be enough. And then our dry ingredients, we're just going to mix our milk with the yeast. There. Going to mix it. And then we'll add the milk. We'll add the egg. And then mix it. If you have a bread maker, you could mix it with your bread maker, but you could also do it manually. I prefer doing it manually just to, you know, avoid washing more dishes, because we are going to need it soon anyways. Now we're adding the butter. And we mix it again until we create a dough. Just keep on mixing it. So when it's fully mixed, just make it into a circle like that. Just like that. And we are going to cover it for 30 minutes to an hour. Preferably 30 minutes. We have to going to cover it with our cling wrap, so the dough, our dough, it's going to rise more. It's going to be more fluffy. We're going to cover it just like that. We'll wait after 1 hour. So after 1 hour with a cling wrap, this is how our dough look like. It's actually doubled up. It rise and more. So we just going to knead it real quick. We're just gonna put some flour on our so once we transfer our dough to our lightly, we put some light flour on our kneading table. You have to put like oil in your hands so the dough won't stick. So we just knead it for like a minute. And my baking paper is here. Just the perfect time. This is all good. So see, look, if you can see the texture of the dough, it's actually perfect. Did you put some? Thank you.
Thank you.
Gonna add a little bit more oil to my hand so it won't stick. And I'm going to cut it to half. Cut it to half. Fold it a little bit more. Add a little bit of more if necessary, and then I'm going to cut it.
What are you crying about? What's wrong?
Another half. And then cut into like 6 pieces.
Cassie, come here.
Just roll it. That. And then make a round one like pandesal. And then dip it with your breadcrumbs. Put it in a baking paper. Another one. Just press it. Kind of roll it. There are breadcrumbs. So now that we actually rolled it into single, we created 12 pieces. I'm sorry about the sizes. I got lazy like rolling it around. Very small pieces for my daughter, but it looks like that. We are going to cover it with cling wrap again. So we just cover it with cling wrap for another 30 minutes before we put it in the oven. So while waiting for our dough to rise, we are setting up the oven for 175 degrees Celsius. It could be around 175 to 180 degrees Celsius or 350 to 370 degree Fahrenheit. About 15 to 20 minutes. So, yep, just preheating it while waiting. When it's ready, let's put in our dough. Make sure it's on the middle. So your bread will cook proportionally. Yep, wait for 15 to 20 minutes and we'll be back. And after 20 minutes of baking, there it is, our pandesal. As you see, the inside is soft and fluffy.